Welcome to another episode of the Antifragility Reframe podcast, where struggles become strength and stress fuels growth. I am Dr. Frank L. Douglas, your host, and today our guest is Miss Huertas, who is of the class of 94 from Lehigh University, and she will be discussing with us some of the challenges that she had as an undergraduate and how that led to her becoming anti-fragile. She is presently a clinical operations manager. Ms. Huertas, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, as we start our discussion, our conversation, could you reach back and think of an episode during your undergraduate days that was really very challenging? What would that episode be?
Hmm. I think on a grander scale, it wasn't quite an episode, but the whole idea of preparation for life after Lehigh, life after undergraduate. I had planned a whole lot for getting to undergraduate and getting through to graduation, but I was not fully prepared for the ongoing plan to prepare for that future beyond undergraduate. I
And
think the other
so
the other piece I was missing was mentors and sponsors and other people to show me that way. I'm first generation college student, so I did not have um, folks that show me some of the paths and things to avoid and easier ways to get where I needed to go.
And within Lehigh, did you find anyone to walk with you at that transition period? Because my understanding is that your major challenge was towards the end as you were
Um,
preparing for life after Lehigh.
yeah, I think towards the end, as you start to realize that you need to make plans and preparation for what to do after, I did have a few students and peers that were really instrumental in helping me plan for that path after Lehigh, and a few faculty that were instrumental in supporting me as well.
And how did they help you? Did they help you to think differently? Did they help you to focus on things you did in Lehigh and to give you sort of an orientation how they would help? What was the help like?
I think a lot of it was more reactive than proactive. I would come to peers or faculty with frustrations of walls I was hitting or places where I thought I failed, areas where I thought, why wasn't I prepared enough for this incident? Um, but having those conversations after helped me avoid a repeat situation, but also help me kind of prepare and think for those next times where those incidents may arise again, or I may be in a similar situation.
So they help you to prepare for after Lehigh.
Yes, and even ways I respond to um, adversity or failures or situations that did not come out the way I wanted while still at Lehigh, kind of gave me guidance on how to bounce back, regroup, reprioritize, and plan for what that next step will be.
Any things strike you now as we're talking about it as any particular approach or uh, uh, something that one of your mentors or professors said that caused you to say, aha, I need to think about this differently. This will help me.
One of the situations I can think of was preparing for an internship or even seeing what options were available for me as a biology major. with the idea of planning to go into healthcare. I knew it would be to my advantage to find a summer internship, a co-op, something that would help boost my resume and show some hands-on learning. Um, and I had people help out and reach out and help set up situation that I had an internship for summer experience. Um, but I think having some additional support to prepare me for what was that internships, supposed to do in the long run, what was the effect of that, how to prepare for it, what other adult um, life preparation I may need in order to successfully come through that internship and come out on the other side with a good experience. Um, it was a learning experience. I had a great opportunity, but I think if I had been better prepared, it would have given me a better outcome.
So the learning opportunity was during the internship. Do I
I had an
understand?
That's one of the examples of places where I felt like I learned a pretty good lesson in preparation, but also bouncing back from a situation that did not go the way that I expected.
Hmm. Yeah, one of the things we talk about, as a matter of fact, when I first started this podcast, I called it "Reframe for Resilience." And Nassim Taleb, wrote this book, Antifragile, in which he points out that bouncing back from stress is resilience. But would it not be better to bounce forward, or I say bounce forward, but he says to become stronger because of that stress, namely to be anti-fragile. And so you had opportunities, you had episodes which helped you to bounce back. Anything in particular you would say helped you to bounce forward, to become anti-fragile during that time, as you look back on it now?
I think the learning experience of having come through that summer internship, learning what I did and applying that to future employment, residencies, additional internships I had when I went into my nursing program, um, and help prepare me for what to avoid and what challenges I may have in those future opportunities as well. So I think that gave me an insight into leaving academia and going into the real adult world. Um, and when um, I went into those experiences at least with a lot more um, guidance and information and support, knowing that instead of waiting for people to show me what to do, I knew when to reach out for help. I knew who to ask. I didn't wait for someone to say, um, you seem to be struggling. What's going on? I took those opportunities to ask and reach out instead of waiting for someone to identify it in myself, in me.
Yeah. Did Lehigh prepare you to have that sort of attitude, namely to say, uh, I need some help here, and not to be shy about it, or to feel that you would be viewed as not being as competent as you feel you are, as you want to be?
Yes, I think in the beginning, I went in with the idea that I had to solve all of my own problems myself, that this was my opportunity to grow and learn and find my adult way. What I did learn is that no one does it alone. No one does it by themselves in a vacuum. You do have to reach out and ask questions and show interest and curiosity. And when you hit a wall, tell someone so that you can get some opportunities and examples of ways to solve, work around, or through your problem.
How did you find it as an undergraduate? As you thought, okay, I need to reach out and seek some help. How did you find the environment that you were in the class of 94?
I was pretty social, so I would take a lot of my concerns and problems and questions to my peers, faculty or staff that I was near or around closely. And I shared a lot about what happened with me day to day. I was pretty much an open book, and people um, in those conversations, I was able to kind of reach out, ask for help, or even just suggest I had a problem.
Mhm. Yeah. One of the things we talk about is innovating together, namely collaborating, working, and walking with others, not feeling that you have to walk alone. And it sounds as though you had that experience at Lehigh.
I did, and it it carried into my alumni hood, in that I felt like that network or those people around me gave me such um, confidence, gave me such counsel that I felt there was a very strong value there. That's part of why I was so excited and instrumental in trying to get an alumni network started for Black and Latino alumni. That kind of was part of that work. Was I saw the value of all of those networks and peer relationships, and just the the ability for those people to offer a hand, to see a problem and help you fix it, or even just give counsel or advice. And those, I didn't really connect those dots until much later, but I think those networks and those areas of opportunity that I saw as a student were kind of parlayed into relationships as an alum.
So you were one of the founders of Balance, the Black and
I
Latino. Yes.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Mhm.
yes.
Very, very nice. Very nice indeed. And given that, what are, two or three of the things that you would uh, give as advice to the present undergraduates?
I think I mentioned before, you're not alone, you're not in an island, you're not in a vacuum. There are plenty of people with similar stories, similar experiences, or may have some insight to share that could be really valuable. So just kind of connecting and making those relationships, reaching out for help when you identify that you have some sort of need, let people know.
A final question. As you look back on it now several years an alumna, uh, what's the one thing you wish that you had done better as an undergraduate?
Hmm. Probably time management. Like I said, I was very social, so I prioritized my social life and some other things over my studying and organizing. And then I think the second would be to study in groups, study with my peers. I took a lot of that on myself and felt like I had to have my notes for myself, my study guides, my own things. And I found that the students that were most successful were the ones that shared information and bounced those study tips off each other.
Huertas, thank you very much. Lehigh undergraduates, remember, you do not have to walk alone. Thank you for the time and thank you for sharing your experiences and how they have helped you grow.